Alright, so if you've put your car together a little too early and you are not quite done with all of the details and getting everything perfect, it's best to actually chop it back in half so you only have to do one side, and then once you're done you can go back and copy the two halves together. So if I ask you to chop your car, this is what I need you to do. You're going to start with the line tool and find the midpoint on the front or the back of the car, doesn't really matter, and you want to draw a line going straight up. So this is blue on the blue axis, that means I'm going straight up and down. Then you want to draw a line going forward or back depending on wherever you started. This should be on the green axis, so you want to see a green line. And if you want the line to snap to a certain location, you can show SketchUp where you want that to be by orbiting over and then setting the mouse right where you want that to go to. So I actually want this to go to the midpoint of the front of the car. And now as I pull the line up, when I get there it says from point. So I kind of showed the computer where I want it to go. That way it's going to line up with that spot. Now I can draw a line down, again to the midpoint in this case. And then one more back to where I started. And once I draw a line all the way around, all four sides, that's going to create this piece that is going through the car. Now, right now, the two halves are still connected. So when I click on one side, you see it selects both sides of the car. We're going to fix that by doing what's called intersecting the faces. So if I right-click on this piece, this divider piece that we've added, and I go down to intersect faces with model, it's going to intersect or slice through the entire car. And if you looked closely, before there was no line at this point, and now there is a line through there. So now we've sliced the car. Now all we have to do is delete the pieces off of one side, and you can do that by just using the arrow tool and selecting everything. Make sure that your box does not cross over to the other side of the car. We're just working on one side. And then delete. And then you may need to use the eraser to kind of clean up a couple extra lines. And then you can erase the piece that we created. And so now I'm back to just half of my car. This would be really helpful if I ask you to work more on the details on the back or work more on the window or any sort of details. It's much easier to just do that one time on one side of the car, and that way when you copy and paste it, you know the two sides are going to be exactly the same. The one place where that might not work is if you're going to add 3D text to an area. It's best to leave that off until after you've put the two sides together.